it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you. We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you.
Hi everyone, I'm Devin. Welcome back to the Egan family. If this is your first time joining in with us, welcome. We hope that you will stick around and subscribe for more content. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and joining us again. We appreciate you more than we could ever explain. So today, for those of you who have been following along, you'll know that this is part 2 of our De-Stress My Mess kitchen edition. In the last video, I did everything on the top half of the kitchen, so I cleaned along the ceiling fan, all of the cupboards, and decluttered everything on the top. Everything in this bin right here is stuff that's gonna go. So I'm really excited about that. Today I'm working on everything in the bottom half and also the fridge, because I do have to combine days this week to make things work. But that's what's good about only planning a couple of projects at a time, where if I have to do a big clean in one day, I can rearrange my schedule to make it so I have other days free. So that is what is on the agenda. Of course, it is like -10, I think, outside today in upstate New York, degrees Fahrenheit. We are very cold, but in basic New York girl style, I do have an iced Dunkin' coffee. Well, this is cold brew. It's really good. And I definitely need it today. So I'm looking around, and I think I'm gonna start with emptying the dishwasher, because there's a whole bunch of clean stuff in there. I have to do some windows that I didn't get to, and then if I'm brave, I might move over to the fridge then. I just had to go outside to get some paper towels to do windows, and it is so cold outside that I am very excited to be in here in the warmth. So I'm rambling because I'm procrastinating, but that's okay. Let's get right into it.
I don't think we got enough time to sort out all the fights, to sort out all the lies. Oh baby, yeah. There was a part of me that knew that, and still I'm caught by surprise. I thought you'd always be mine. I guess our dreams fell asleep. There's no passion in the comatose. Baby going down, 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 down. Baby going down, 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 down. Tried so hard to stay afloat. Yeah, we keep moving like the river goes. Baby going down, 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 down. Yeah. And I thought, it's time I'm letting you go. This time I know it for sure. I just thought I should let you know. Now, no words no more, no. I got so high on a low. That's when I loved you the most. Now I thought I should let you know. Now, no words no more, no. I really thought we had it covered. Was gonna patch up all the scars, but we smashed up all the parts. Oh, na, na, na. Always knew that you were stubborn, but didn't know it'd be so hard to figure out who you really are. I guess our dreams fell asleep. There's no passion in the comatose. Baby going down, 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 down. Baby going down, 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 down. Tried so hard to stay afloat. Yeah, we keep moving like the river.
I cannot tell you how absolutely crazy this fridge clean out turned out to be. Starting with that Taco Bell cup that only had ice in it, that should have been an indication that the rest of this was going to go absolutely crazy. And before anybody judges about the ridiculous amount of adult beverages in our fridge, Will and I are really not drinkers. We will occasionally have something socially. Well, not even Will. Will doesn't. I occasionally have something socially, but we do like to entertain, like I said, and all of that was left over. So, I mean, not that there's anything wrong with it. I'm just letting you know. But the copious amounts of Mountain Dew, that is all Will. That's Will's vice. Mine is coffee, his is Mountain Dew. So I got started cleaning all of the shelves and trying to get them nice and ready. And then the most tragic thing ever happened. My coffee spilled. Thankfully, this is in slow motion. So I was able to get it before the majority of it spilled. You'll see in a second, there's still a decent amount left, but I will not cry over spilled milk unless it's pumped milk, because then absolutely, if any of you have ever pumped or breastfed, then you'll know. Even formula is so expensive, so that's worth crying over. But coffee, heartbreaking every time. Anyway, so the rest of this part of the fridge clean out went relatively smooth. There was some stuck on bits that I tried to get up with the sponge, and then I was cleaning the drawers out. Everything seemed just fine and dandy until I got to the meat and cheese drawer, which is coming up in a minute. And inside of it, I was cleaning or wiping up the base, and I hit a patch of ice. And I thought it was just a tiny little patch that had frozen. Oh no, the entire back half of our fridge was solid ice. And this should have realistically only taken me about a half an hour to clean out this fridge. And it ended up taking me hours because I had to try and melt the ice and chip away at this ice to try and get it all taken care of. It was an absolute nightmare. You're going to see in a minute. Yeah, I pulled out a butter knife and was chipping. This is how far the ice came out. It was unreal, the amount of ice that we found. I even had to stop filming to FaceTime my mom, because I FaceTime my mom about everything, let's be real, but this was just absolutely crazy. So you'll get to see in a bowl in a second how much there actually was. It was such a project.
Okay, so I had to take a little intermission there to FaceTime my mom because our dispenser here has never worked since the day that we moved in, and I never knew why. But I think it might have something to do with the fact that this big old hunk of ice, and this is just some of it. There's still some that's attached, but all of that ice was just chilling in there around the pipe. So I'm thinking that there's something going on with that. I don't know if I can fix it because I'm really not that handy when it comes to fridges, but it's something. That's insane to me.
So after a couple more hours of trying to melt that ice down and chip away at that ice, it was time to get back in here and work on the doors. It's so awkward to try and film in there. It's the space in my kitchen doesn't really lend itself to a tripod, so I tried to get the best footage that I could. And of course I had to wipe off my giant bottle of hot sauce. I eat so much hot sauce. I'm sure you just saw the big giant pile of Taco Bell fire sauce I even pulled out. I like food very spicy and very flavorful, so I always have different kinds of hot sauces and spices and things like that. So that's all for me, and my kids and my husband don't appreciate it yet. I'm holding out hope for some of my kids to enjoy it with me, but I really like a lot of spice. Comment down below if you like spicy food or what your favorite type of food is, because I always like to hear that. I like anything with like buffalo sauce or hot sauce or jalapenos, anything like that. So after I got all of those dishes all washed up, I'm trying to put them back in and figuring out the best way to organize the fridge. I am always struggling with how best to do this. We like to keep the condiments on the right side when it's our right when we're looking at the fridge, and some of the extra things on the left hand side. But I don't know, I'm always interested in watching how other people have their fridge organized, so I didn't know if that would be interesting to you. So I'm getting all of the drawers put back in place, the fruit all in place, and the vegetables. We were right at the point where we really truly needed groceries, so I figured this was the best time to do a big fridge clean out so there wasn't a lot of food to deal with.
So after all that drama, we finally have an organized fridge. Like I mentioned, we specifically chose this week to do the refrigerator because we knew we need a huge grocery shop. We have almost no fruit left, no fresh vegetables, and so those are clearly things that we need to stock up on. So that is what we're going to do probably tonight or tomorrow. I really want to take a break, but I should do the freezer while we're right here. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do. And I'm also so disappointed about the amount of food that we had to throw away from it. Oh, I knocked the tripod. So I'm disappointed in myself. But like I said, we're getting better. This is what's going to change our bad
Go
habits.
back to right before you told me I try to change it all.
So, as luck would have it, I had a huge mess to clean up in the freezer as well. And this time it seemed to go much more smoothly, except for the fact that my camera glitched and all of that footage was corrupt and unusable. So now I'm getting to cleaning the outside of the fridge. I use Windex on my stainless steel. I've tried all sorts of stainless steel wipes and sprays. The Weinmann's, I think it's called, worked okay, but it always left a film, both the wipes and the sprays, even after buffing it in. And I found that Windex gives the same shine and doesn't leave that film, and it's less expensive, so I do that. Now I'm just decluttering the side of the fridge. We do have some really cute magnets that my mom had made for us for Christmas a few years ago. And also we have some school pictures of our sweet friend Ella. Ella and Nicole, if you're watching, hi. Jared, Genevieve, and I were just talking about you guys the other day and how much we miss you. So little shout out to them. But Ella is like Parker's little best friend since he was born, and it's really sweet. And Nicole, her birthday is the day before mine, and she is one of my best friends as well. So I love their friendship. And I don't know why, but I really decided that I just wanted to organize the kids' play magnets.
Strangers again. We're like strangers again. I just know things will never be the same. We're like strangers again.
Now it was time to tackle all of these drawers and see if there was anything that I could get rid of. Truth be told, I did this a few months ago, so there wasn't a ton of stuff that we don't use. There are 5 of us, and we do go through a lot of dishes, especially with the kids. I feel like they're always using spoons and forks and everything. And I loved this little wooden organizer that we had. I think my mom gave it to us like forever ago, and I absolutely love it. It's just, I don't know, there's something about it that I love. But I had to wash out the little spoon holder for the kids' utensils, and then I tried to figure out a better way to lay this out using another organizer from the Dollar Tree that was stored in a different part of our kitchen to hold all of our straws. Like I said, we don't have that many cupboards, and we do have a lot of things, but I wasn't comfortable getting rid of anything because we do truly use everything that is in almost all of our drawers. I did get rid of a few things, but most of the stuff that I had to keep. Oh, look at Parker's little training chopsticks with little Pikachu on top. It was so cute. These are all of our cooking utensils, and like I said, I do a lot of cooking. We do a lot of baking. And so I really didn't see that it was practical to downsize. So we just have to try and make this work the best that we can. And it does. It doesn't necessarily look the most Pinterest-worthy or aesthetically pleasing, but the door closes and we still have access to all of our things. So it is what it is. I got it all cleaned out, and it is functional for us and our space. The next drawer down is a lot of our baking things. And a random little clothes hook. I don't know how that got in there. But we make a lot of muffins in our house, and the kids love brownies. So I love this little brownie pan that you'll see again in a minute, where it makes every single brownie a corner, because corner brownies are our favorites. That pan right there. So we love that. And there's different size muffin trays, some cake and pie trays, and then pot holders and our cheese grater. This is the dreaded Tupperware drawer, and it looked like everything exploded in there. So I tried to move some of the parchment paper and the wax paper up with the baking supplies to make more room for our Tupperware. There was a broken lid of a Tupperware piece in there, and then there were some tops without bottoms, and I don't really truly know what was going on in there. So I kept all of the pieces that we love and we use all the time, and I did get rid of a couple of pieces. I ended up repurposing one in a different part. You will see when we get underneath the sink how we use that. And then just tried to lay this out the best that I can. These things that you're going to see me putting into a gallon-sized plastic bag, a Ziploc bag, are actually reusable, like saran wrap. They're almost like little nets. They can go over any dish that you have. They stretch and then they seal around the dish to turn it into Tupperware. So we don't need a lot of Tupperware because we can use like serving bowls and things like that as Tupperware. And then one of the kids had gotten into the box of sandwich-sized Ziploc bags and kind of destroyed them. So I just put them in a gallon size. Now this looks like an absolute explosion because it is. As far as cleaning supplies go, this is really our only storage space for them. So it really does accumulate a lot of household stuff. We don't have like a catch-all household closet where we can keep extra light bulbs and things like that. So they all end up under here. But first I really wanted to get in here. I was trying to use the antibacterial wipes, but those were all empty and the container was under the sink. I don't really know what happened there. But I found an antibacterial spray. Since there is every once in a while a leak of the faucet or the pipes in there, I really wanted to make sure that I disinfected everything. The cat is clawing at me. If you can hear that, I apologize. And I wanted to make sure that I washed all of our organizational bins out. When I had gone shopping for our organizational bins at the Dollar Tree, I did look for these bins in gray or white, and they didn't have them. So the blue is going to work just fine. It's really just purposely aesthetic that I wanted to change it. So it really didn't matter too much. So after I washed those all off, I tried to organize these bins based on what projects I would use them for. So anything for carpets or that I would use like on windows or surfaces in the living room, I put in one bin. Anything that was deodorizing, I put in another bin. Anything that was bathroom, I put in another bin. And all of the little extras, I put in a special bin as well. So that way, if I need to clean a certain room or a certain area, I can grab the whole bin and not try and search through all of these to figure out what is in where. And then I reused that little Tupperware container for our sponges and magic erasers to make sure that if there is a leak under the sink, they are not compromised. And I loaded up all of our bins and just tried to make everything fit in a way that made sense based on how often we use the products and also how they fit back in there. Two things you need to know before you judge me too harshly about the condition of this cupboard is, once again, we are limited on space. I do a lot of cooking, so it's hard for me to downsize the amount of pots and pans that we have, because when it is safe to do so, we do love to entertain. And so there are quite a few times where I am in charge of making a large quantity of food. So it's hard for me to really downsize. Eventually, when we get the basement done, I might try and come up with a system down there that I can store ones that we only use for certain occasions. But right now, they're staying in here. And also, we were very lucky and we got gifted 2 full sets of pots and pans. And we also had some hand-me-downs as well. So if anything looks a little extra loved, that is why. We're so thankful to have people who helped us get started when we were first getting married. Now it was time to deep clean this stove and then onto the oven. I really wanted to give it a good wipe down, use some baking soda and some vinegar, and really break up any of these little pieces that were stuck. To really give it a chance to disinfect and all of that. So it really needed it, as you'll be able to see soon, and I really wanted to do a thorough job. So while that was soaking and breaking up all of the gunk, I wanted to move on to this little area. Those are the cutest little ladles that my friend Michaela got me. They're little Loch Ness monsters. And then that cookbook was a Wizard of Oz cookbook that I got for my bridal shower. So I just wanted to clean the top of the microwave, and then I pull it down so I can get to our backsplash and our kitchen counters. Our backsplash is actually peel and stick backsplash that I got off of Amazon, and I've mentioned a couple times before that we painted our countertop. When we moved in, they were emerald green, and then I painted them with this Gianni white diamond counter paint kit, and it was really nice, and we really liked the way it turned out. Then I wanted to break up any of the gunk that was inside the microwave, so I put a little bowl of water and just a splash of vinegar in there and set the timer to 5 minutes and let that go. It steams up and it just breaks down all of the gunk that is built up, so you can literally just wipe it away with a cloth or a paper towel. And then I pulled out my cleaning toothbrush that Emery tried to steal from me to use on her teeth. It was absolutely horrifying, but thankfully we stopped her before she got to that point. And I just wanted to really do a good job at getting all of the nooks and crannies that I can't normally get when I'm doing a regular wipe down after dinner. And then once again with the Windex on our stainless steel. And then just making sure the surface is nice and clean. Benny is coming to say hi, so once again, if you hear any noises in the background, it's all Benny.
Don't wanna be down, looking for a new start. Looking for a new start. Don't wanna be trapped, don't wanna be down, looking for a new start. Yes, somewhere I'll go running and hide. Looking for a new start. Looking for a new start. Don't wanna be trapped, don't wanna be down. Looking for a new start. Looking for a new start. Don't wanna be trapped, don't wanna be down. Looking for a new start. I've seen those faces, I've heard all the lies, but you ain't gazing on someone in denial. 'Cause you want dollar bills right now, but you gotta work real hard. I know you want it to be easy, so let your guard down. And I said, see it in your mind, trust that have what it takes inside, 'cause you can make it too, if not says who.
A big thank you to Will for taking the oven door off for me so I could get in here and clean better. It was absolutely disgusting. And once again, I feel like it hasn't been that long since I did this, and it's just incredible to me how much all of this built up. So once again, getting in there with some vinegar and some baking powder, or baking soda rather, and my little toothbrush and a sponge, and just really breaking everything down. And it was so satisfying to watch all of that gunk come up and to have our oven be nice and clean again. Now, once I was done with this, I had to move on to the oven door, and oh, wait till you see that. Talk about satisfying. Watching that transformation was enough to keep me motivated to get the rest of this kitchen done.
'Cause you can make it too, if not says who. said. See it in your mind. Trust that. Have what it takes inside. 'Cause you can make it too. If not, says who. Yeah, you can make it too. If not, says who. You can make it. If not, says who. Yeah, you can make it too. If not, says who. You can make it.
Wide awake is the way that you left me. Side by side in your car in the backseat. Wide awake is the way that you left me. Oh. Now it's clear we are here back at your house. And I keep fading into the background. I'm wide awake, now you keep missing out for sure. Take down your walls and let me ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, brick by brick, now let me ooh, ooh, ooh. I wanna be right there by your side. I wanna be there, won't you be mine? Take down your walls and let me. Yeah, brick by brick, now let me
Now it was on to the dishwasher. Will had just recently cleaned up the food trap, so we didn't have to do that, but I wanted to wipe down the seal really well and then use one of these Cascade Platinum dishwashing cleaner tablets and put that in, and I put it on a sanitizing wash so it was extra warm and it ran a little bit longer. To make sure our dishwasher got nice and clean, and when I opened it up it smelled so nice and so fresh, so I was thankful I did that. And then it was on to cleaning all of the outsides of the cupboard, and then we moved on to the countertops, just giving them a really clean, good wipe down and making sure the backsplash and the countertops were all taken care of. And then I went in to deep clean the sink, which of course I forgot to shift the angle of the camera, so you can't really see this first part. But once again, going in with a sprinkle of baking soda and then just splashing some cleaning vinegar, which is just distilled white vinegar, on top, making it all bubble up using my little handy dandy sponge and toothbrush to just get every little nook and cranny and make sure that it's really well cleaned and sanitized. And it was great to do. The kids are just getting over a really nasty sinus infection that we've been battling for a really long time, and so it was the perfect time to start this project and get everything back to normal and in tip-top shape there. So now I'm just moving on to this part of the countertop, and in a second you're going to see what looked to me like the stove started, but that's just our Alexa, who was playing some music for me to keep me motivated. So I've asked this before, but I would like you to tell me in the comments what music you listen to when you are cleaning. I am a musical theater girl at heart, so I've been listening to a lot of Six the Musical or anything upbeat like that. A lot of Hamilton, In the Heights, Tick Tick Boom. I love all of those things. Lin-Manuel Miranda is amazing. So Encanto has also been in our family rotation, and I also listen to a lot of pop punk from like the early 2000s. So I'm showing my age there a little bit, but that's okay. And then it was time to move on to the floors, get everything swept up, and then I went the extra mile and did the baseboards, and I didn't mop the floors. I actually scrubbed them with antibacterial wipes to make sure that they were absolutely as clean as I could possibly get them. Like I said, we have been battling a really nasty sinus infection. We've been tested for literally everything under the sun, and it keeps coming back negative. So as of right now, it's sinusitis and we're all struggling, so I want to keep everything as clean as possible.
So don't mind the dishwasher noise, but this is now what you see when you walk into our kitchen. Nice clean floors, everything sparkly clean. Oh, I left that out. Uh-oh, pretend you didn't see that. That goes under here. Nice and organized. Everything still looks the same. Well, I don't have to go through all of them because you already saw them. But everything is so much better now. Pantry door closes. Everything's nice and clean. No more shameful dirt and dust. Everything is just sparkly and beautiful. And we love it. Like, okay, I know this is so extra, but like, just look how nice it looks in here at night now. Makes it so much nicer to be in here. And I have an announcement coming up in 1 second about this business. So don't mind me, I am absolutely a hot mess right now. But those of you who watched the video where I explained my schedule for all of this de-stress my mess stuff knew that I had announced that I was going to pull out the fridge and clean underneath that, and I didn't. And there was a reason for that, and that is because we're finally going to redo the flooring in our kitchen. Nothing super fancy, extremely budget friendly. There will be a video on that as well. We're going to replace them with this tile here. I'll insert a picture. I got it on Amazon. And we're also going to extend that into the downstairs bathroom as well. And I think it's just going to really brighten up and complement the space. When, excuse me, when we moved into this house, there were a lot of really warm tones. The dining room, which we have painted this like cool tone gray, was actually like a deep chocolate brown. And it made the room look so much smaller. And so we really have tried incorporating some cool, brighter tones in here and doing a nice mix of the warm and the cool. And that floor in there, I think, really contrasts with the color, that like soft country light blue that we have the kitchen painted. I think it really just doesn't complement it very well. Also, the floors are pretty old, so they're showing a little bit of wear. And they're just, I don't know, they're not our aesthetic. There's paint spilled on them. It's time for a little bit of a kitchen refresh upgrade. So we will be doing that, and we will share the process with you. And we hope to get that started like in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. I am so excited to finally have our kitchen done and clean. And then the floors is the final piece of the puzzle. And I'm so excited. So thank you so much for watching the second part of the De-Stress My Mess kitchen cleaning. I hope that you enjoyed this, and don't forget, if you have done any decluttering or organization this week, post a picture on Instagram using the hashtag #DeStressMyMess and tag me in your photo. If you're not following me on Instagram, go follow me on Instagram. Links always in the description box. But we would absolutely love to follow along with your decluttering and organizing or deep cleaning journey. So take a picture, tag us, or put it in your stories and tag us, anything like that. So thank you so much for watching. Stick around and subscribe. We're tackling the bathrooms next. So the first part of that will be up on Sunday, and there's a lot of work going into that as well. So we hope to see you on Sunday. Well, no, there's something like stuck on me here. What is going on? Ew. We have a new video Thursday that's really fun. If you, I'm not going to give any hints on that one. We have a new video coming up on Thursday that has nothing to do with the De-Stress My Mess series, and back at it on Sunday with the De-Stress My Mess series, where we tackle the bathrooms, part 1. So we will see you then, and thank you so much for being here. Bye, or as Parker would say, peace. I'm so awkward closing out videos. It takes me like a year and a half to figure out how to say goodbye. And all I do is say goodbye and peace. I don't know what's wrong with me.